Oh, beautiful.
Thank you so much to both of you. I definitely just got emotional, and thank you all for bearing with me. I know I'm the only thing in between you and that dance floor. So, I thought a lot about what I wanted to say, and I kept coming back to family and the fierce and strong women in my family. And I remembered that when meeting someone for the first time, my Jahajee would sometimes ask, who he belongs to. Sometimes she would even ask before knowing the person's name. I was confused by this because certainly I did not belong to anyone, and I didn't think any grown person could belong to someone either. It was as confusing as my Aja calling me Betty. Anytime I went to my grandparents' house, it was Betty, bring me my slippers now, or Betty, come mash my foot now. Of course, I would learn later that Betty meant daughter, and it wasn't being mean, but sweet. As an adult, I would learn to understand the question, who you belongs to. Or in other words, as an organizer would ask, who are your people? It means, who protects you? When I see you, who are the invisible others whose hands steady your spine? Whose whispered prayers soften the road before your feet? Who do you protect? Who would you stand in front of when the world grows sharp? Who would you shield with your rage and swaddle in your warmth? I belong to Alicia Leandro and Mahendra Jarwar. Guyanese immigrants whose full sacrifices I may never know. I belong to Iris, my maternal grandmother who fled domestic violence and started all over again in America. I belong to women of color who speak up in rooms we're not sure we belong in. I belong to my queer chosen family who helped me live my truth and become the siblings I never had and didn't know I needed. I belong to a long line of no-nonsense working-class New Yorkers who could eat you for breakfast with their coffee. I belong to the Bronx and Queens where every block holds a story of grit and stubborn hope. I belong to you, my Jahajees. People who have faced the worst violence and still found the strength to rise. Women who insist on their humanity even when the world tries to take it away. You who lift one another up, check in, show up, make each other remember your worth, your divinity. I belong to you who are doing the hard, the necessary work so the next generation will not endure what we did. People with big ideas that can reshape our world if someone would simply open the door and let us lead. I belong to you. Descendants of Jahajees who crossed oceans in the bellies of ships carrying nothing but each other. I belong to children of indenture who were displaced, disrespected, and disavowed, yet still found ways to sing Lotela, to worship, to cook, to skin teeth, to love. I belong to people whose very existence is resistance, who walk through this world with the quiet defiance of those who were never meant to endure but did. I belong to people whose truth is as wide as the Kalapani, who stand tall because others before us had no choice but to bend. I belong to you, I belong to you, I belong to you, I belong to you. This community of courage is who I belong to. Woo! In 2016, I was living in a studio apartment in Washington, D.C., 6 minutes away from the White House. For 6 years, I'd been working as a legislative lawyer for reproductive justice, meeting with Congress members regularly to protect abortion rights. Yeah, we can clap it up for abortion rights. One night, as I was scrolling through I saw a post that shook me. A Guyanese woman had been killed by her husband publicly in Richmond Hill, in a way I will not describe. Her name was Rajwanti Baldea. This was not the first such murder I was aware of in my community, but it was the most heinous. I quickly sent the story to my Jahajees back in New York, and then my mind started to spin. Why haven't I built an organization that could prevent this from happening? Why am I miles and miles away fighting national battles when my own people back home in Little Guyana are suffering? I was beside myself with anguish. I got onto the floor and went into child's pose for the night, crying and praying. We held a vigil, but we also knew a vigil wasn't enough. Jahajee needed to have staff and office, regular programs, and be open every day. I wanted to come back home and build this, but it felt scary. Should I make this big career shift? How would I live? Could I pay rent? In New York, y'all know the rent is too damn high.
Yes.
Will this thing even get off the ground? Will it fail? It took time and courage to make the commitment, and I had help. It was Simone who told me over and over that I could do it, that I was capable, that the dream was worth it, and that we would do it together. Thank you, Simone, because I don't know if I would have returned without that. A year later, I made the move. Today, I no longer feel the guilt of not trying. I did move back home, and together with Simone, we built an institution. Today, there is an Indo-Caribbean organization keeping women safe, something that was just a twinkle in our eyes less than a decade ago. There are so many success stories that remind me we are doing the work. There are hundreds of women we've moved out before the worst took place, who received therapy and a new lease on life, who walked away from toxic relationships, who have healed because Jahajee is the only place they have ever felt seen. And it's taken courage every step of the way. In fact, Jahajee itself is one big collective act of courage. Our very existence has made some people uncomfortable. When we began, some people were rattled, some still are. We pay them no mind, right? Courage is a steady flame, passed from hand to hand and tended to by community. And with the threats right now to communities like ours, we need that flame now more than ever. So today I ask you, keep your flame burning and kindle each other's flames too. And you can count on me to be there to help. No matter where I go, I will always belong to my Jahajees. You are my people. I will stand with you when the world grows sharp. I have so many people to thank for trusting me to lead over the last 7 years and for leading with me. This has been the opportunity of a lifetime. I've been challenged and humbled. I've stretched and grown, and most of all, I have loved and been loved. Thank you, universe. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you to my family for putting up minimal resistance to this endeavor. Thank you to Simone for building this from scratch with me through so many highs, lows, and everything in between, with great patience and endurance, never giving up. Thank you to every founder, board officer, past and present, every Leadership Institute grad, every member, every funder, and every advisor along the way who has helped build this thing. Thank you for allowing me to lead with you. And with that, I want to close with a chant from freedom fighter Assata Shakur, who left
Rest
us.
in peace.
Rest in power, Assata Shakur, rest in peace. You're gonna say after me, right? It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
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 We must love each other and support one another.
We must love each other and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
Thank you.
Woo!